Hello everyone, and welcome to Pokemon A to Z episode 12. Now this is another solo episode. It's been a while, so I figured I would let y'all have another incredible solo episode. And this time, I have discovered that they are absolutely popping off. I am so in love with how in recent days we've just been seeing phenomenal quality of life improvements from Smogon. Like, it's already funny because Smogon is like a massive quality of life improvement over playing games on cart in terms of accessibility, in terms of speed, and just in so many ways. But to add completely on top of that, they have added in this beautiful feature of being able to star the formats you want to be building in. So I don't need to. I had this problem where I will sometimes accidentally click the Battle Stadium singles equivalent of a thing, but now I can star the formats for VGC. And then like the draft formats that are relevant, and you know, if I'm ever playing in an old gen league, I'll be able to star those. That is so awesome, and I have so much respect. Do they mention it in the news article? They don't even mention it in the news there, and it's such an awesome improvement. I really appreciate it. I'm a very big fan of that. So yes, here we are, VGC 2023 Regulation E. And we have come to an episode featuring two Pokemon. One that I have maybe overused a little bit in this format, and one Pokemon, well, not in this one, but in the previous, in Regulation D. And then another Pokemon who's completely new to this format, and both of them are just an absolute ton of fun to use. So here we have Chandelure, who, the Ghost Fire typing, absolutely phenomenal. I really love using it. I have so much fun using it. I have been using like Scarlet and Skeleturge, and it's really cool to get the classic Chandelure back. And need to scroll down a little bit further. Tinkaton, who also has an incredible typing of Fairy Steel. Now these two do share a ground weakness, not a dark weakness, a ground weakness, and I would say that they together are weak to water. But otherwise they're actually quite decent, right? So, or more. So like Chandelure is weak to, dark. I guess it's really just the dark that Chandelure is weak to. The Tinkaton covers. But Tinkaton is weak to two types, fire and ground, and Chandelure is immune to one of those, and then you could use the Flash Fire. So, you know, all three of these abilities have some usability. Infiltrator, if we do see like a real Grim dominant meta, I would probably recommend using Infiltrator. At this point, we do see a lot of fire types in the format, and if Ogerpon is Terrored, then you do become immune to its Ivy Cudgel if it's the fire type one, Hearthflame. Though obviously Wellspring is quite common, and it's maybe less concerned about hitting the fire type that is immune to fire moves when it is clicking its own Ivy Cudgel. But no, I'm very keen for it. I've had quite a decent afternoon after work, and even if I am recording this a bit up to timer, I'm very excited for it. So Chandelure, really fun Pokemon, 145 special attack, and then the abilities are somewhat disruptive, like Flash Fire has obviously got utility, Flame Body definitely has utility, and then Infiltrator has utility in the ability for me to forget the English language, it seems. Infiltrator has utility in being able to deal with opposing Reflect on Light Screen, and we have seen some substitute, especially at high level, though maybe less so on ladder. I'll be interested to see what people are running on ladder, because it's been a few days since I last popped on, and we've seen the final events from Leo subsequent to that, so I'll be wondering if we'll be seeing a couple of net deck teams out of Leo, which did have quite the strong top card, right? So yes, I am very excited to see Chandelure. It's quite strong. It does have access to Trick Room, which is one of like the notable sort of things for it. One of the major niches it has. And then we've also got it's got okay coverage. So Ghost and Fire, very strong combination. Really, Heatran is the main Pokemon that you're going to struggle to break through if it is Flash Fire, which you would generally expect it to be. But outside of that, most Pokemon are not going to take its hit super well. There's no super present like Dark Water in the format, or Fairy Water type like No Feeny or something, though it does have Energy Ball to hit Feeny, as well as Clear Smog. I know I've clicked Clear Smog with this Pokemon before, which mostly suggests how much singles draft I played on it. But yeah, there's really not too much you need in terms of coverage there. I think that sort of the Shadow Ball and then Fire Blast, Overheat, Heat Wave, Flamethrower are all pretty good, but I think Overheat's maybe what I would default to on it if I'm running a Trick Room set, because you kind of expect it to die at some point. How does Acid Armor? That's cool. Probably not for this video though. And these sort of mid-speed Trick Room setters that are not crazy bulky, but are decently bulky with the investment, are good when you have a solid, consistent fake out user like Tinkaton, so very excited to see that. So I do think I probably would just go Trick Room and Protect, and then I would consider running a Mental Herb on the Chandelure. And then the Terra type would probably have to be something that resists Dark, so I think maybe Fairy. So there's the options like Fairy, Fighting, and Dark. I don't think I'll have any of them, but I think Fairy is probably what I would wind up sort of defaulting to. I do think I want this to have good special defense, so I might invest in a more specially defensive spread with some physical defense as well, rather than the high special attack variant that maybe would maybe be more consistent, but this is, I think, sort of what I'm looking for. And then I have Tinkaton here with Mold Breaker. So Own Tempo is really good if you're running a more offensive set, because it prevents you from getting worn down, getting mitigated by the Intimidate. And we've seen, obviously, a little bit less of a strong performance from Landorus than we were seeing in the early format, but still a lot of good Landos. I think we mostly saw them in top 8 rather than top 4 at Lille, but we've certainly been seeing a lot of Landorus in the format beyond that, as well as definitely not an insignificant amount of Harkonine or the other mon is completely escaping my mind. What is the other mon? I swear there's a third Intimidate poke. Not Incineroar. Oh yeah, Gyarados. Yeah, definitely some Gyarados as well, even if it is not always making it through that sort of top cut area. Especially, I think with the Ogerpons, it's been a bit of a problem for it. But yeah, like Salamence and the Tauruses have completely disappeared from the format because Lando and Hark are just so good. But Mold Breaker is good because it allows you to fake out into a Farigiraffe team, which is definitely convenient. And it also covers Pokemon who have Inner Focus, so it's good into Dragonite, who maybe isn't a concern when you're using Chandelure, but Chandelure doesn't love breaking through a Dragonite. Also, if you are running like an Ice Hammer variant with Mold Breaker, even if you're intimidated, you'll do more damage through multi-scale with Mold Breaker than you would through not being intimidated. I tend to gravitate heavily towards like Citrus Berry variants because this Pokemon has such a good defensive typing and such good natural, especially defensive bulk, but when you put on that physical defense, it really does take those hits super well. And then I often will, Gigaton, Fake Out. Actually, Gigaton is a terrible first one. Like the Gigaton, Fake Out, Play Rough, and then Encore and Taunt are both quite good. No, it doesn't get Taunt, so I'm going to say it's Encore then. Knockoff is a phenomenal move. Certainly Foul Play has its use case. Helping Hand is really strong. It has so many moves that you can definitely tech onto it and definitely can be impactful. Thunderwave is also one that we saw some of in the format, and I think that I've run previously on this channel. There's really just a lot of awesome fun sets that you can run on Tinkaton to disrupt and to limit the amount of decisions your opponents can effectively make, as well as to make your partner Pokemon's moves just have even more of a wallop. I think I probably still want to run like a plus attack sort of nature, simply because this Pokemon's attack otherwise is not very high, maybe without the most investment, but certainly like a little bit of speed and a little bit of speed F. Maybe a decent bit of speed if I do want to run Encore. And then we'd like something to follow up in Trick Room. So probably like, I don't think this is a great Ursaluna team because it's not very easy to get Ursaluna's Flame Orb off. Like, I don't love leading Chandelure next to Ursaluna. And we are a bit tankier on the Tinkaton, actually. Maybe it is Own Tempo. I don't know why I care about faking out Farrick. Like, it's never bad, right? Do I care about faking out Farrick? Do I care about anything else's ability? I don't have a Water move, so Water Absorb doesn't matter. Not much else has defensive abilities that are that relevant for Tinkaton. Yeah, I guess Unaware, but I'm not buffing it, so I'm not really going to get much value out of ignoring Unaware. And you like don't ignore like Shadow Tag or Booster Energy or anything. It's quite an odd ability, Mold Breaker. Like I believe you can still get the secondary effects of something like Flame Body as well. Yeah, I think I will go with Own Tempo if I'm running Play Rough and this much attack investment, and I will actually keep Play Rough instead of accidentally clicking Brick Break. Mostly because I just really like the ability to threaten Qian Pao, as well as to be able to threaten a Protect. What's the poke called? Fluttermane. If you're running like the Citrus Berry, having that extra ability to go on there. And I think Terra Dark is maybe where I'm going. Or maybe Terra Grass. It's not a crazy amount of Amogus in the format, but it's nice. You could do Terra Dragon, but I'd really prefer not to become weak to Fairy. Keeping the Fire weakness is okay, because I do have Flash Fire. Not great, but okay. And then sort of, what do we want to flesh out from here? Yeah, that's right, I was thinking a slow Pokemon with a high attack stat. I'm very excited for when we get eventually to the Clodsire episode. It's not too far away, but probably not this team. So many slow Pokemon that are just, you know, ooh, Copperajah. Probably not with Tinkaton though. I do love Copperajah though. Oh, Glastrier. I'd love the chance to put on a Glastrier. So maybe Clear Amulet. I think the Terra Electric set I saw was pretty cool. So it's Icicle Crash, Terra Blast, Swords Dance, and then I've seen some close combat. So Swords Dance is definitely not mandatory, but you can take it, like get the Fake Out off, or use it like next to a Protect on Chandelure and then follow up with Trick Room. So it's really interesting being able to position that. And with the Chilling Neigh and the Clear Amulet, being able to get that first attack boost off is really impactful. And I probably would maybe pair this with like a secondary Fake Out Mon even, to try and get more out of Glastrier. I don't think this is a Protect team. I think this is a Heavy Slam team, just to get through Flutter reliably. Flutter is definitely a problem for a mon like Glastrier, who is trying to sit on the field for a number of turns. But it's not a problem if you KO it quickly. So you don't need that much attack investment. You do want minus speed. You don't need that much attack investment because you already have Swords Dance, right? To sort of simulate having attack investment once you're +2 and then getting extra hits on top of that. Or I guess I want to make sure Glastrier OHKOs Flutter. Okay, very, very safely, though this Flutter sets. Do people actually run this set in singles? Because it makes no sense to me. Like, even this set is like super frail. Why are you investing in special attack? This Pokemon's already broken. 92 is what I have currently. Click level 50, everything does slightly more. I think I just need to maybe say stick with this 92, or maybe find the next, yeah, well, 92 is a breakpoint, cool. And then just say, okay, I won't run into a max def Flutter, or if I will, I'll have tried to get some chip on it with my other pokes as well. And then, yeah, what are we looking for here? I guess this set is maybe kind of weak to Heatran, but Terra Blast isn't terrible into it. And Icicle Crash is very good in the current format. Komo was definitely a mon that overperformed expectations in Lille, so maybe that's a mon that I want to keep a mind on. We saw that Terra Steel Iron Defense set, which is definitely a bit of a problem, though I do have Overheat here, but Shadow Ball, it does wall. Yeah, I definitely probably want to think about something, though. I do have Encore as well, which is nice, though I don't have Knockoff. Could do Knockoff instead of Play Rough, but I do like the damage from Play Rough a lot. Okay, thinking through a lot of things a lot, right? So I could do Rilla as a second Fake Out mon, which allows it to function in Trick Room and then also sort of outside of Trick Room, just to give sustain to these three, so that they can get more moves off, as well as to remove, you know, Earthquake's not really massive in this format, partly because Rilla's so big and partly just because they've massively power crept Earthquake with moves like Stomping Tantrum and High Horsepower. and Headlong Rush that you don't need to pay the downside of your partner Pokemon getting hit for premium damage and with upside. Even if you do sacrifice accuracy on high horsepower. And you do have a downside on Headlong Rush. But yeah. Grassy Glide, Fake Out. This will probably be like an Assault Vest version. Yeah, and Knock and Woodhammer. Woodhammer has seemed so strong. Obviously U-Turn is really good, but Woodhammer is... I don't know. No, I think I've got to do U-Turn. Surely you have to do U-Turn if you're... I think it's funny how it always wants to run max attack on Assault Vest sets because it has 4 attacking moves. It's quite funny to me. But probably something like this with a bit of speed. Like, crazy amount of speed. But yeah, you want a lot of the special defense. Could consider Terra Dark, but I just want Terra Grassy Glide. It's just so strong. With the even the extra 5 base power from Terra is super powerful. Now, what do we kind of want in this shell? What can Tinkaton? Maybe like a Nasty Plot Taunt. Like Tailwind, Nasty Plot, Bleak Wind with a Cloak. Certainly the one of the bulkier versions. Could even consider like a Calm Mind, Cresselia, just to have another poke who quite concerned about the physical defense. I'm feeling, you know. Yeah, I do think I'm going to put some physical defense on it. A little bit of SPDF, a little bit of special attack, but certainly special defense I'm quite concerned about. I don't feel like running a different support, sorry, a different attack here is necessarily super appealing. I could run Dark Pulse, but I think I'm fine with just trying to run Mono Blinkwind and sort of seeing how it goes. I feel like I can... Well, I guess if I'm sharing team sheets, Heatrans are not going to be very scared of me right now, which would maybe suggest I should run something which can hit them. Maybe I could go Terra Ground, Terra Blast instead of Protect. Even if it does make me weaker to opposing Prankster Taunt, I can also just click Bleak Wind, right? I'm offensive for a reason. And then, yeah, something like a Lunar Blessing, Calm Mind, and then like... It could even be Charge Beam, Ice Beam. Something like this. With the leftovers. It doesn't get the same sustain that Calm Mind would, because you aren't boosting a special defense. But you're already super tanky because you're a Cresselia, right? You don't necessarily need to boost that special defense. You do, I think, want a bit of special attack initially so that you can get into some of those Lando sets. Definitely some of them are running a good bit of bulk. I think... no spreads from the little ones that I can easily access. Yeah, just nothing. Okay. But yeah, so maybe something like this, where it's just kind of using Fake Out Non-Core from Tinkaton, and then potentially Trick Room, potentially just the overheat damage from Chandelure to sort of sit in the game, or maybe even Calm Mind on Chandelure. Maybe Calm Mind Flamethrower. I think I'm going to go for the Calm Mind Flamethrower version of the comp. And then just try and, yeah, have extra turns on field, and then use those extra turns to hopefully win games. Not being a water resist definitely feels bad. Fairy was to resist dark. I feel like I'm just going to Terra Water. And you should Terra Electric, because then you don't have any weaknesses. Yeah, Regulation E. Hey, it comes up. Awesome. Really appreciate this quality of life change. Dude, Smogon is absolutely knocking it out of the park with the quality of life changes as of recent. Okay, timer is on. So, Ursaluna. I've got Rilla. I can very easily put Rilla sort of in the back. I only have... Oh, I've got 2 Psychic Resists, and Cresselia is definitely not a bad Psychic Resist. I could lead... like Chandelure and Torn, and Torn has the ability to threaten sort of the non-Trick Room leads, and then if I have Rilla in the back, I can switch the Torn out and reverse Trick Room with Chandelure. And then I will probably bring Tinkaton in the last slot. Cool, so I'm going to click Trick Room and I'm going to switch in Rillaboom. So I am mitigating the damage of an Expanding Force while also removing the threat of Trick Room. That said, if they do just go for the Expanding Force, not great. Follow me and Trick Room and Trick Room. I think it's funny that they do get to see that I am... no, I'm gonna Calm Mind and I'm gonna fake out the Armarouge. They get to see that my Chandelure is slower than their Armarouge, which is interesting, that my Chandelure is slower. It's not naturally slower. Yeah, that's quite a bulky Armarouge, right? Oh, I guess I'm at -1, but even then, still a bit bulky. Temptation is definitely to knock the Chandelure... Oh, no, it's Grassy Glide, not leftovers. How much are we thinking it's taking from +1 Shadow Ball? We think it's dying. Okay. I want to Terra Water and Shadow Ball the Armarouge and sort of U-turn into the Lando slot. Because I don't think it's going to protect here. Okay. I brought Tinkaton in because it resists this Expanding Force. Cool. Still took a lot at the +1 special defense from my specially defensive Chandelure. But I certainly don't feel too bad. Well, I want to just Flamethrower and Fake Out. If Lando reveals a Terra that's grounded, so not Terra Blast Flying, then they're not Terra Blast Flying, which is good. And if not, I'm getting some good damage into... Obviously, if it had died there, that would have felt nicer, because now I'm getting a full power Stomping Tantrum coming out. It looks like the Stomping Tantrum wouldn't KO, but I think that is because it's not doubling the power. I'm definitely going to Flamethrower the Lando slot, and I think I'm going to Gigaton Hammer the Lando slot as well. Oh, went for U-turn. Okay, that's really interesting. That actually did a disrespectful amount of damage for a into my +1 special defense mon, right? Yeah, we're definitely expecting it to die at this point. Certainly to be able to threaten either of them. Either of my pokes right now. We don't really care about Lando though. We just want to get rid of Indeedee because we feel like Torn and Rillaboom should be enough to get through Lando. Though I'm throwing a Fake Out because I don't know if Indeedee is Protect. Cool. Flamethrower and Fake Out. Oh my god, it died! Oh my gosh, it died! Chandelure is the future. Who needs special attack investment when you can just run bulk, baby? Oh, I dropped below 1200 again? Sheesh, I didn't realize that. But either way, we're above 1200. Oh, that second game with Colby clearly was not worth it. It's the fourth game, I mean. Yeah, sometimes Indeedee Armarouge seems like the best team ever, and sometimes it just seems just awful, like completely unplayable. And my opponent definitely experienced both sides of that game, I think. Okay, so I immediately want to set up Trick Room. So that makes me want to go for the Chandelure Tinkaton lead, because it may be faster than their Rillaboom, and follow up with Glastrier and Rillaboom, I think. No, Rillaboom is not that good, but I don't really think that Cress is that good. I mean, Cress is fine. It's got a lot of attacks. It's got a lot of attacking moves. That's really all you need in competitive Pokemon. Famously, all you need in competitive Pokemon is attacking moves. So it looks like I need to Terra if they are offensive boosting at all, which is annoying. Oh, they're going to double, aren't they? No, I wanna Terra and just go for Flamethrower and fake out the Kingambit. Can't expect it to sucker. It did not sucker. It didn't even die. Running bulk is not always worth it, friends. But see, I was definitely right to Terra. I would have just died to that. Kind of wish I went for Trick Room now, though. Yeah, I just need to sack this and go for the player off here into... Really? It died to that? That is disrespectful. Dying to that sucker is disrespectful. I could have gone for Trick Room. No, they definitely doubled that slot. I don't have... I've just got recovery on this. I don't like this. It's not working out for me. They're going to fake out the Tinkaton 100% of the time here. I'm going to Lunar Blessing and go for the Gigaton. Okay, they went to prevent Trick Room. They did not succeed. I didn't click Trick Room. I don't have it, but there's no reason for me not to have it. I just don't. I mean, the reason is because I didn't have any move slots. I'm starting to feel like Glastrier may not succeed against this Ogerpon. I'm going to need to Ice Beam freeze the Ogerpon, even though they're definitely going to KO Cresselia with Rillaboom. I'm going to Encore the Ogerpon, because if it sets up, that's my win condition. Sword Stance for no reason. It did not Sword Stance for no reason. Yeah, I should have just set Trick Room, I guess. Definitely the Kingambit matchup was not feeling very good. Maybe I should have just gone for the Gigaton turn 1, right? Didn't have Protect, though. 29. Honestly, that's more than I would have hoped from a real. Sadly, I am out of top 1200. The rating this season has definitely been on a general downwards vote. Okay. Roaring Mid, Classic Mon. No Amoonguss though. Okay. I think this is the Tinker Chandelure lead. With Glastrier and Rillaboom still. I don't think it's Crest this time. I do like the ground immunity, but I also like Grassy Glide a lot. And Fake Out. I really want to switch in Rilla and Gigaton the Flutter Mane, so I think I'm going to. I could set Trick Room here, but I would need to Terra for that, and I'd rather just kill Flutter Mane. Okay. Went for the Stomping play. Oh crap. I think I'm in range of the Flutter as well. How much does Glide do to Flutter? It's not a KO with Terra, right? No. Not even into 0 bulk. Yeah, I guess I should just set Trick Room up, right? People never play around Trick Room. It's actually quite frustrating. Yeah, I kind of want to get a U-turn in, but I should just go for the double into Flutter, I think. The Lando is going to play around Fake Out, right? Surely. Surely the Lando plays around Fake Out. The Lando did not play around Fake Out. Maybe I'm just really bad at Pokemon. Maybe that's the problem. They're going to protect the Flutter Mane. I don't know. I'm going to go for the Terra Glide into it anyways, and Icicle Crash the Lando slot. Should have just said Trick Room. Why am I not saying Trick Room on a Trick Room team? No one can tell you. Okay. Are you fucking Terra Blast? Okay. At least it's not Terra Blast. I'm not going to knock it. because it's thinking on it. It is very likely to be it's Choice Scarf. I could knock the Flutter slot. I think I'm just going to crash and glide into the Flutter slot, because if it dies, it dies, and if it doesn't, then whatever comes in should die. Yeah. Imagine that, but it was a good Pokemon instead. I need to bring Chandelure in because I need to get out of Trick Room. These moves both suck into Lando, which is very frustrating. I expect the Flutter to protect. Okay, that is definitely annoying, and I don't enjoy it. That said, do I die to Lando with Chandelure? I have a chance to. I should have EV'd around that, huh? I think I'll bring Rillaboom into this slot and go for the Heavy Slam into Flutter. Oh, if I died to Shadow Ball, that would be painful. Okay, they doubled it. Cool. That's what I was hoping. Okay, let's see what's in the back. I got Fake Out. The Lando is at full, though. And I am Special Terra Blast at the current point in time. Well, the Lando can't threaten either of these slots, so I can just Fake Out and Icicle Crash the Iron Hands. Certainly having the Chandelure in my last slot is not feeling that great right now because of the Lando, but all my stuff feels really bad into Lando. It's a bit of a problem. I also don't have Protect on stuff, which is a bit of a problem. Okay, can this Crash KO? It cannot. Will the Glide KO? The Glide will not KO. That is very, very problematic. I'm going to need to bring Chandelure in this slot and U-turn, because I need to have... like, this is not doing enough to Lando. I understand that it's not Assault Vest. I kind of am annoyed that it keeps bringing up Assault Vest, because there's no way that's even like the main single set. But yeah, it's not taking that much. And this Iron Hand slat isn't even going to be Fizz Def, right? No, not at all. Not even max HP. Yeah, this Terrifier Lando is very much worked out for my opponent. And not having Protect has not worked out for me. Okay, and I just need to set Trick Room up 100% of the time, right? So Chandelure needs to live, and then there's no reason for me not to run click Trick Room. How much did the Stomping do to Rilla? Okay, it looks like Rilla lives the next Stomping, which is good. So I need Chandelure to live. If Chandelure lives, I think I can win. If Chandelure does not live, I don't think I can win. I do not know what they are considering. Yeah. And they're stomping the Chandelure? Yeah, okay, cool. Lives very comfortably. Cool. Unfortunately, that means that it's probably quite bulky, but yeah, that's what it is. I think Knock is my Rilla's strongest move into this, which isn't great. Oh, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. On the downside, they definitely live because, and now they can Terra Blast me. Because they got that last turn of... Yeah, there's no way Knock KOs from 26 without the item boost. They played really well. I should have glided, I guess. because then knock twice KO'd. No, but I didn't live two stompings, so yeah, GG. I guess burning that attack into Lando earlier did not work out in my favor, right? What did I hit it with? Icicle Crash? But they just healed it all up. That was into a Protect though, so it's not like I had much of a better play. This is why you don't want multiple Terra Blast, kid. I was like Terraing Rilla and then trying to use this, whereas if I had high horsepower, or CC even, would have been a much easier game. Dude, losing Amara in one of these sucks again. Just for another time. Yeah, if I Crest in the back, that would have been obviously worked out, but... C'est la vie, my friend. The Rilla was pretty important. Glastrier was also, like, they were all pretty good. Tinkaton's definitely pretty good. I forgot to talk about where I have them tiered. Both quite good Pokemon. Chandelure is always like a major threat. I have it in 14. I feel like there are a lot of issues with these tiers, sort of as my experience in the format's getting like, why the hell is Gengar up here? Chandelure is very strong, as we can see, as we saw, very capable of living opposing hits, as we saw, and very much good at getting like extra bits of damage when you really need it. So I needed to glide into knock, and then I could have won. Yeah, that was the play I needed to do. Oh well. Yeah, that was definitely like an input mistake on my part. Yeah. Like I said, Lando's scary. I think I said that in particular. The Terra Fire really made this Glastrier set not work, because I hadn't terrored this. But, you know, not like Terra Electric would have been better when I was constantly having Stomping Tantrum thrown into me. Yeah, Chandelure, very good poke. Tinkaton... Frankly, I have no idea where I have it tiered. It's quite good. Is it in this tier? No. Is it in this tier? No. Is it in this tier? Where do I have Tinkaton? Where? I noticed it earlier, but it has completely gone from my sight. Okay, it appears to have disappeared from the tier list, so... that's fun. I mean, I think it's at least this good, if not this good. It's a very, very consistent Fake Out Mon. Its typing is really good. Gigaton is a great nuke move, but Play Rough is still good. Knockoff is good. Obviously, didn't get to see it use Encore much, but yeah, having Fake Out with the Mold Breaker, and honestly, even the consistency of Own Tempo proved to be really strong. Definitely a really fun Mon to use as well. So I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, so... yeah, definitely consider drafting Tinkaton, and definitely consider drafting Chandelure. And honestly, if you just kind of want like a fun sustained team, you know what I realized was missing from this team? It doesn't... I love Sinistra. Sinistra is one of the most broken poke they've added this format, right? But I keep having other Ghost and Grass types, which means it's like, sure, I could run Chandelure, but then I just sort of run it with Chandelure to heal Chandelure, but then I just immediately lose to all the Fluttermanes I run into. And then like, oh sure, I could run it with like, you know, the Rillaboom or the Toadscruel from last episode, and there was like the Cerulege for that, and there was Torterra, and there was Trevenant, and there was Cacturne, and there was Victreebel, and there was Brute Bonnet. So literally all of those episodes. So these last 8 episodes, every single one of them has literally just been has literally had a different Ghost or Grass type, which has made it hard to pair it with. But yeah. Thank you all for watching. It's honestly been a really exciting time getting through this. I love the occasional opportunity to do solo episodes. So leave a comment down below and hit that like button and all of that. Goodbye, and we love you all.